Episode 6, That is such a croc. Upper Egypt.
Oh my goodness. We left off entering this beautiful ship. I was so excited. It was so amazing. And my cabin was on the third floor. I was okay with that. So I walked all the way up to the third floor, climbing the stairs. Really beautiful, actually. And then I got to my cabin where my luggage was already there and greeted me. And I was able to finally get out of my tennis shoes and put on sandals. I am not going to lie, at this point, my feet hurt still. And so the sandals actually felt really good because I had been in shoes from morning to night this entire time up until this point right here. I was so relieved. And my feet were too. You know, when you can wiggle your toes and you're like, okay, that feels good. That's where that was. And then after that, I headed down to the mess hall, the mess deck, I guess you call it. And that was all the way down to the bottom floor, the bottom deck. And I was kind of nervous about what they would have. I was pleasantly surprised, actually. They did have a lot of vegetarian things, bread and salads and other kind of vegetables, but they did have chicken and fish, and I was okay with that. And I know the chicken wasn't actually chicken, it was pigeon. But I'm okay with pigeon. It's all right. After eating my fill of pigeon, and I did eat a lot of pigeon, I decided to head on up to my cabin where I put on my swimsuit and head up to the top deck, the sun deck, where there was a little dining area and a lot of chairs underneath canopies and lounge chairs. And there was a little swimming pool on the bow and some sunbathing chairs all around. It was really beautiful and really nice. I really enjoyed it. But the swimming pool was quite uncomfortably um, cold. It was about 70 degrees, maybe even 75 degrees, but the air temperature was around 90 degrees, maybe even 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which the difference was quite substantial. And so it was cold to dip in. And I put my feet in, and that's all I could get in. It was very cold, but I managed to just enjoy the sun and the cruise, and it was so beautiful. I loved it so much. And we enjoyed the rest of the evening. It slowly turned into nighttime, and we all headed back down to the mess hall to eat more food, which I had another round of beef and pigeon. I think it was beef and pigeon. And then we all turned in to our cabins for the night. Remember when I had said that I hated warm water? Well, I found a hack. I ended up filling some bottles of water halfway full with drinking water and putting them in the cabin's freezer so that in the morning I woke up to bottles of ice. And I was kind of excited about this. I even filled one bottle full of electrolytes so that I would have cold electrolyte water with me. I was kind of happy about this. And I ended up down in the mess hall for breakfast. I grabbed a cup of coffee. That was delicious. And then I ended up grabbing an omelet and a boiled egg. Now, the mess hall served a bunch of breakfast pastries, cereals, breads, and fruits, stuff that I couldn't have, but I still enjoyed my omelet and my egg, and I had a little tiny bit of salsa and tomatoes put in there just to give it a little bit more flavor. When in Egypt, right? But anyway, so then after breakfast and finishing my cup of coffee, I ended up back in my cabin where I got dressed and ready for going out for the day.
Morning. Yeah, hello.
We met Amira in the lobby, and that's when we learned a little bit of what to expect with the temples and all of the things that we can go see. And she also mentioned that there was a balloon ride over the Valley of the Kings yet to come. Very exciting. Anyway, for that day we had planned, and it was all a blur, so I'm trying to figure out what was what. But I do know that we stopped at the Temple of Horus in Edfu.
The Temple of Edfu is one of several temples built in the Ptolemaic kingdom. The original temple was said to be built from reeds and stone. Part of it is preserved within the inner grounds. Then a new temple dedicated to the god Horus was built between 237 BC and 57 BC. The temple was nearly destroyed by the Coptic people in 391 AD. The temple was forgotten and soon buried under sand until it was discovered again in 1860. On the walls of the temple describes the creation myth of Horus, the marriage of Horus to Hathor, as well as the conflicts between Horus and Seth.
And this temple was absolutely beautiful. A lot of different hieroglyphics and murals. It was just so astonishing. Very, very breathtaking. And then we stopped at the city of Kom Ombo. And this was kind of a different city. I was kind of taken aback because it had a different feel to it than the rest of the temples that we had visited before.
He fix things, but look at Sophie doing better.
It was more of a modern influence. And what was strange was there was a museum with a bunch of crocodiles. There are different species of crocodile, and, well, the Nile crocodile was their favorite. And strangely enough, believe it or not, bull sharks are known to enter the Nile as well. And crocodiles eat bull sharks, and bull sharks eat crocodiles. It's a thing. And as you can see in just a little bit, the children still play on the banks of the Nile, no matter if there's crocodiles or sharks in the Nile. Anyway, lunch on the ship was, well, lunch. And then, well, we all headed back up to the sun deck to just relax.